Alright guys, we are back. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. As always, it is so great to see you. And friends, if you're sick and tired of taking photos that are too bright or too dark, I've got a solution for you. It is called the SUNNY16 rule, and photographers have been using it for decades as a way to easily set exposure and settings on their cameras. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't manually changing your exposure settings confusing and hard? No, and that's what the SUNNY16 rule is for. Now we're going to get into all of that in a moment, but I do want to say this video is aimed at more beginners or photographers that really haven't been exposed or sunk their teeth into the SUNNY16 rule. If that is you, friend, pull up a seat and you're really going to enjoy that. Now, keep in mind, 12 years ago, I founded Photography Talk to help people become better photographers, help move that progress needle forward. So that said, if you find some value with this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, because what happens with that, when you hit that like button, YouTube's all about helping people out, and we're all about trying to grow this channel. When you hit the like button, that tells YouTube this is a very helpful video. YouTube's going to share that with more people, getting more people aware of our channel, my friend. That is really cool stuff. So I'm going to thank you ahead of time for hitting that like button. Now with that said, my friend, pull up a seat and let's go. Alright, if you're unfamiliar with the SUNNY16 rule is, it's a simple concept that helps you manually set exposure values on your camera. Now the idea is that if it's sunny outside, you set your camera's aperture to f16, then set the shutter speed to the inverse of the ISO, and you should be good to go on a properly exposed image. So, for example, at f16, you might set the shutter speed at 1/100th of a second and the ISO at 100. Easy, right? Now, to make that even easier, the shutter speed and ISO don't have to be an exact match. Just get them kind of as close as you can. So at f16, I use a shutter speed of 1/120th of a second. I would use ISO 100. It isn't a perfect match, but it's close enough. Now, here's the catch. The SUNNY16 rule isn't intended to get you a perfect exposure in every single sunny situation. Instead, it'll get you close. Now, you might find that you need to adjust one of the exposure settings to fine-tune your results. So let's say at f16 with a shutter speed of 1/100th of a second and an ISO of 100 that our image is a little bit too bright. All we need to do is kick the shutter speed up a stop or reduce the ISO a stop to bring the brightness of the image down. Now, so instead of f16 with a shutter speed of 1/100th of a second and an ISO 100, I might need to change it to f16 1/200th of a second and an ISO of 100. I could also use f16 1/100th of a second and ISO 50 to achieve the same results. Now, conversely, if the original image is too dark, I might slow the shutter speed down by a stop or increase the ISO by a stop to brighten it up. So the f16 rule gives us an easy base for which we can work exposure to get the best shot. And there are other versions of the rule that apply to each environmental condition. Now, as you can see in this graphic, if it's a little overcast, you simply open up the aperture to f11. So if we're shooting at f16, 1/100th of a second, and the ISO 100, when it is sunny, all we have to do is open the aperture to f11 when it's a little overcast, and we continue to change the aperture as the brightness of the scene diminishes. So if it's moderately overcast, open the aperture to f8. If it gets really cloudy, open up the aperture again to 5.6. And if you're shooting at sunset, swing it down to f4. No matter which of these situations that you find yourself in, the same rule of having the shutter speed as the inverse of the ISO applies, just as it did with the SUNNY16 rule. If you're using an ISO 400, getting the shutter speed close to 1/400th as you can. If you're at a ISO 800, getting the shutter speed as close to 1/800th as possible. You see where I'm leading with this. But remember, this is just a starting point. You might need to adjust the shutter speed or ISO a stop or two to get the exposure just right. Now, here's one last scenario that you need to be aware of with the SUNNY16 rule. Let's say you're at a beach or it's a snowy environment. Sand and snow reflect a lot of light. So you're going to need to account for this in your settings. So from our SUNNY16 starting point of f16 1/100th of a second and ISO 100, we would simply reduce the aperture to f22 to account for the reflected light on the sand or the snow. But as you close down the aperture, diffraction can become a problem and your images can become a little bit soft. Just keep that in mind as you reduce the aperture all the way down to f/22. And friend, that is it. Now obviously these rules aren't a one-size-fits-all, but like I said, they offer a good starting point from which you can fine-tune your settings to get a well-exposed image every time. Now remember, rules are meant to be broken, and as you get more comfortable behind the lens, you're going to have a better understanding of what changes to make and when, depending upon the specific situation. And of course, the key to all of this, as everybody keeps saying over and over again, practice, my friend. The more practice that you get, you're going to shorten that gap, that learning curve, to allowing you to get out there and really maximize that camera of yours in getting the best photos possible. So grab your camera, get outside, practice using your SUNNY16 rule. The more you practice, the more it becomes second nature and the more capable you will be of capturing the perfect exposed shots. Now, normally I close off the video with a quick chat about our giveaway, but that ended. So stay tuned for the next Photography Talk episode to see if you're the lucky winner and to preview our next giveaway. All right, guys, and there you go. This was another one of those fun videos to put together because it's a topic that we keep seeing being asked over and over again, and we've shared with a number of you guys that we were going to be putting this video together. Now, if you found this video to be helpful, if we were successful in helping you move your photography forward, hey buddy, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi everybody.
Are you back from swimming?
Yes. I'm on level 3 now.
Good job. High five. You want to tell everybody to create their best shot?
Create their best shot.
Wait, get out there and create. Wait, hold on. Let's
get
finish.
out there and create your best shot.
That's super awesome. All right, and while we're at it here, don't forget to hit that bell down below. Hold on, don't go away. You can say it at the right time, okay? All right, come on, get over here. All right. So consider hitting that bell down below so therefore every time that we come out with a new video, you're gonna be notified when we have those videos come live. That said, my friend, you get out there
and create your best shot.
Good job, buddy.